I know, it's a hot mess. It's called barn work. Okay, I don't know how long this live stream is going to be. Not very long. What's weird? The lighting is weird. Okay, I'm back for just a few minutes. I'm going to let you join in. We're going to try to make this 12 minutes or less. Let's see if I can do it. But I got to wait till you get here first. I know, I did do a live stream like 2 hours ago, and it was fun. And I told James all about it. He's laughing. He thought it was great. I lost my straw. I'm going to wait till more people join in because I want to address this. I'm not going to make a full-blown video about it. We've talked about things like this before. And I think you need to hear it. I need to hear it. We're back briefly. I know we've just got, I'm just now finishing all my barn work. I did start the garage. I'm gonna let you join in. Hold on. Man, that's messed up. That is messed up. I'm waiting for more people to join. Oh, so we're about to have a late night dinner. Hamburgers are almost ready. Just simple hamburgers tonight, y'all. Simple hamburgers. So we're done today finally. I moved my ducks today. I've got, all those babies I got. I'm still, look, I just got out of the barn, so this is what I look like. Okay. I'll turn off the air condition because, there's always somebody that gets their skivvies in a wad because my air conditioning's running. So I'll give it a break for a second. I know, I'm doing another live stream. I'll be honest with you because I want to get this off my chest. I want to say what I want to say. And I'm sure you've seen all of the things. See, you don't see all the comments that I get, comments that are made to other people. So this kind of all boils down to, I'm talking about me, but really this is about you, okay? And this has always been a problem with this genre. It's actually with everything, so that's not fair. I wasn't fair just now, okay? You find that when you decide to do something that has anything to do with self-reliance, prepping, homesteading, farming, there's always somebody that's going to tell you how bad you're doing and that you're doing it wrong and that you're, stupid. I always look at these people as demons because nobody that understands the sign of the times and anyone that understands that people are there are people out there, I know it's hard to believe, but there are people still working and trying to do their best. And I try to focus on that, okay? The reality with my channel, with what we do, is that we understand, and we have always understood, that most people do not live our lifestyle, okay? If you don't the majority of people that watch this channel on a regular basis, most of them don't have a homestead or farm. They might have a garden. They used to do things, or whatever. So I'm going to hit two topics that I've experienced in the past 2 days, and it has everything to do with the reprobate minds, the narcissist, trolls, bots, and AI. It all relates, and you are going to deal with this if you haven't already. So what do we want to go with? I'm going to pick food first, okay? Because that's really what touches upon you more than what I will talk about next, but it all relates. I want to say something to you right now. And I don't care if you get mad at me. If I, pardon me for saying it this way, if what I'm about to say pisses you off, please unfollow my channel. Because what I'm about to say, if you pick it apart, you're not picking me apart. You're going to be starving people. And I don't want you a part of my community. We're going here, okay? This needs to be said, okay? If you are of the mindset that the majority of Americans, I'm only going to speak for Americans, I'm trying to pull it in, girl. If you think the majority of the people in this country can grow enough food to sustain themselves until the next year, you are dumber than a box of rocks. I'm going to say it just like that because that's the way it needs to be said. If that offends you, leave. I don't want you here, because you are the people that are going to mass starve the public. And I hope there is a corner in hell for people that don't understand this and go around food shaming people. I said it just like that, and I mean it. Okay? I have a very deep meaning, if you want to call it prophetic, dream. I had it last night. I have talked about it in the video that's coming up. I've talked about it with Lou twice today, and I am a little bit triggered by it because I feel I have a moral and ethical and whatever responsibility and conviction to absolutely push people to absolutely take care of themselves, no matter what that means. They go and buy canned food at the Food Lion, and that's the best they can do today. How dare you shame them? If today your neighbor, the best that they can do is buy ramen noodles and bioengineered Campbell's soup, we've talked about this before. If you don't understand it, then you're dumber than a box of glass. I don't even want to put down these things. When people don't have food or options, they're coming for what you have. That's why I'm saying you're stupid. I said it. Don't care if every other YouTube channel that tries to make you believe that they do all of these things when maybe they do, maybe they don't. If they put you down, or if your neighbor puts you down, or a blog you read puts you down, if they absolutely food shame you and make you feel like a piece of doo-doo because you bought ramen noodles today, you need to stop following those people. I have no specific example of that at this, but I know it exists. I do know what I'm speaking specifically about is the people that are jumping onto you, on my comments, jumping onto me, questioning and challenging people and saying that's bioengineered. We don't want to hear that anymore, okay? I'm going to ban you. You mention that on my channel at all anymore, I'm going to ban you. And here's why. This is not the time to be food shaming people, period. Not everybody has a farm and 100 acres that their granddaddy left them. Not everybody, people don't have jobs. When these people food shame you for your food choices, these are the people that are zombies also because they have no connection to what is economically happening in this country. I am not going to question or food shame somebody. Now, clearly, if you sit around and eat 12 Twinkies in a day, that's not good. I'm talking about people at their wits' end trying to do the best that they can to ensure that they can make it through a time period of crisis. And if the best that they can do is to go buy, quote, bioengineered dead foods, end quote, at the grocery store with a coupon, I applaud that. Because those people understand what they're in and they're trying to be proactive. I will not allow that in my community. I will not allow it in my comment section. So if anybody here wants to be high and mighty, why don't you send these people a gift card to wherever they shop and you can buy them some food too? Why don't you try to help somebody today as opposed to wasting every moment and putting them down? I will ban you. I will pray for you, but I'm letting you know what I think about this. I'm not putting up with anymore. In fact, to be honest with you, I already don't. So, and I haven't for a while. If I see it and I know you're being ugly to people, you're gone. The country is on razor edge. You are in an economic crisis. You are living in a depression. And how dare you talk to somebody, or even me for that matter, for encouraging people to do the very best that they can. You better hope and pray these people that can only afford ramen noodles stock up, because on day 3, they are going to find your farm and they're going to come for you. And then you can stand around, act like you don't know why, but you were part of the problem. Take it, leave it, shove it, stick it, I don't care. But I do encourage people to do the very best that they can. You got people living, elderly people, lots of elderly people living in situations right now where they cannot feed themselves. I'll tell you what, sugars, and I'm going to have a sign-up sheet for you to come and sign up so I can assign you people with babies and elderly people that can't pay for the lights anymore. And I'm going to let you milk your goat today and get all your organic green beans that you raise or whatever the heck you buy at Whole Foods and march it right over to these people. Since you know what's best for everybody and you want to be the dictator, better than the dictator who's trying to come in and be the dictator and put controls over food, why don't you show up and help somebody today? Okay? I've got some goats that you can even come. I'll let you milk my goats for free one day. Why don't you show up? I'll let you milk a couple of my goats, and why don't you, and I'll watch you go donate it, and you go feed these people that you want to boss around since you have all the answers. So there's that. So you folks out here that are listening, absolutely go off the edge here. I hope you do not listen to these people, okay? This has been a horrendous year for crops. See, these people don't know it because they're all living out in their little rainforest permaculture thing. And, they think everybody else lives like them. And they think everybody's doing all these things. They're not. They haven't done it probably their whole life because they weren't raised with it. Because, see, we were broken away from that lifestyle. The majority of Americans were lied to and broken away from that lifestyle. So now you have people trying to fight to get back. I want you to be healthy. I'm the healthiest that I've ever been in my life. I'm going to be 48 years old. I'm down to 136 pounds. I'm running 5Ks. I juice every day. I raise tens of thousands of feet of food. So I do walk that walk. These people here would walk that walk if they could. Okay? Lay off. We want people to be fed. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. And we're not going to shame anybody here, okay, for doing so. So there's number one. Number two, so this is the second thing. This is going to be strong. Dear Jesus, help me. You ready? Coming out the gate, so you better have your big girl panties on. If somebody wants to show up at my house and donate their time and money to take care of everything that I do every single day of my life, email me. You don't live on my farm. Just don't live on these other people's homes. A lot of these people don't have jobs anymore. So make sure you know who you're voting for. But I try to at times talk about things and invite people into my life about decisions and things that we do, farm and family, prepping related, try to motivate people or just to try to share. And a lot of times when we do that, we get scolded by people who, they just want to show out. I think some of these people just like to put their name on a hateful comment so that people will go, they troll your channel, not because they're necessarily trolls, but they want to gain viewers by causing trouble. There are a lot of YouTube that do that. This is why I don't comment on basically any channel out there unless it's a thumbs up or good job. I don't comment because I don't want people to seem like that. I don't want to try to lure other people's viewers by being a butthole. Fair? I have 4 Great Pyrenees. I did have 5. Cochise passed away. Okay. I've been raising Great Pyrenees for 10 years now. Cochise was my first one, and he was a learning curve for me. Okay. Just listen to the story. When I came to the vet, I did exactly what was recommended, which was 2 and above. I'd never had any trouble with that dog. Okay? Okay? We could have never predicted, with the experience that we had, that we would have had the trouble with him in terms of transporting him to the vet and back. Okay? Okay? And we did, and I shared that with you. I am not going to accept that I don't know how to raise these dogs because I didn't do, ride them in a car for 3 months in a row before I took them to the vet. I'm going to be honest with you, 11 years ago or we just assumed he would be okay. We did. I know better now. My dogs did great this time. If I need to neuter these 2 boy dogs before 2 years old, that is what I'm going to do. Because see, this is my farm. Do you pay the property tax for here? Do you pay for these people's food bills? No, you don't. You don't, sweetheart. So, it's one thing for somebody to make a suggestion. I welcome that all day. Good conversation, helpful hints. Think about doing this, yada, 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 yada. I get all of that, okay? And I appreciate that. But when you slam people for food choices, or you slam people for that they're making for their protection of their animals and their farm and their family, you got it way wrong, okay? I will absolutely neuter these dogs before they're if you don't like it, too bad, get lost. And the reason being is multiple reasons. Number one, I had a horrific experience with Cochise. I don't want them to go through that. So I'm going to try, and I told you this, you didn't listen, I'm going to try to push 15 to 18 months if I can. If these dogs become too over-sexualized, if they become too aggressive with each other or anything, I'm going to be forced to make a decision. You know why? Because I want to be a responsible owner with what I've got. You can look at any of my animals on any given day and stand, they may not be registered this or tutti frutti that, but I spend hours every day of my life taking care of my farm animals, my gardens, my home as best I can. I've been around these animals for years. So in order to keep my 2 Great Pyrenees pups as healthy as I can, meaning they don't fight and kill each other or something else, or I get it, you probably haven't understood this yet because this is what idiots do. Guys, I don't know where you think we're going to be in a year or 2 from now. It isn't going to look like today. I'm trying to get things done. You may not care. You probably don't. But here's what you folks need to understand. You need to be doing everything possible to set your home, your farm, your family up with all of the major things as much as possible. These dogs are crucial to the protection of my family and of my farm animals. I have to tell you, I'm a little concerned that I may not make it 18 more months to be able to have my dogs neutered for multiple reasons. I'm not saying something's going to happen because I have no idea. And of course, I pray it doesn't. And in 2 years, we can all sit here, I'll pour out what's in your margarita, and we can laugh about it. To do everything I can in short order to set my farm up, my home up, to make sure my chimneys are swept. I've got that everything is stacked the way I want it. I'm trying to prepare. And along with preparedness, that comes along with your health and your animal's health. Okay? 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 So you guys do what you need to do, and don't listen to these people that don't live with you, sleep with you, you do their laundry, they don't contribute to your finances, and they don't contribute to your farm. Of having reception problems. How did you, is it glitching? Of course it is. Imagine that. So I may end up making a video anyway. And I apologize for that, but I want to say all of these things tonight, okay? So bottom line, am I breaking up? Am I glitching? Yeah, of course. It is. Oh, mammal, get it. I know it. Give it a second. So, I'm coming on off strong. This is going to be recorded and put up. Is it buffering? Okay. Some hear me, some don't. I'm just going to keep going. I express these things to you because I want you to relate to them. And I want you to go, we're not going to tolerate that. We're not going to do that. And Patera is experiencing this like I do. That's why I share that, okay? All right? You raise your children in farms as healthy as you can. And the basics have to be met. The basics need to be met. If you need to go to the dentist, go to the dentist. If you need to have a dog or cat spayed or neutered, get it done. Okay? If you need to go to the store and buy bioengineered food so you feel comfortable in knowing that at least you have something, get in the car and go. Don't let idiots and these reprobates and these nasty people. Again, this is not the time to be doing this to each other. I reject it. I rebuke it. I will not do it, and I will not allow it to be done to the people here that follow my channel. We don't want you here. You're not welcome anymore. Okay? You can get your point across, or you can make friendly suggestions. Okay? Without being a jerk. So, I'm taking up for my people here. I'm taking up for myself a little bit. But I know exactly what I'm doing with my animals. I'm the one out here with every day and every night. So I know how growing. I know what the vet suggested to me already. And you're not my vet. See, you're not my vet. These people that are trying to push you into making you feel bad because you're not growing, 12 acres of corn today, and you're not spending $7,000 at Whole Foods. Remember, these people do not show up to help you. They do not pay your bills. They don't work your job. They're not raising your children. Okay? They're not going to be the ones when you're sick to come feed your farm animals. They're not the ones to come and milk your cow. They're not going to be the ones to, bring the firewood in the house. You absolutely need to be doing everything for you. You know this. I'm not your mama. And not listening to these people. So, pick and choose what you listen to very wisely. Okay? Pick and choose what you listen to very wisely. And, I don't get on other people's YouTube channels and criticize them for their decisions. I might make a video in discussion about something because I'm concerned people are going to learn to do something inappropriate or wrong. So I'll have my opportunity on my channel to have my opinion. But we ain't patrolling people. And I'm not trying to jump on bigger channels to grow mine. You're lame when you do that. You're a lame-o. That's Jesus talk. You're a lame-o. It's a real thing. And it's gotten really intense over the past 2 to 3 years where people try to pick fights with people and accuse them of things or just put them down. And they want that comment seen so that you'll go check out their channel. That's what they do. That's what they do. And we all know it, and these people know it now. Right, if you want to homeschool your kid, you just send them on, sugar. You just head them on over to camp and let them do for them whatever you want. Don't worry about the rest of us that homeschooled our kids. Don't worry. Why do you care? Do you care? Why do you care? So not only is this could be other people you know or channels you know, but it also is a problem, as we discussed earlier in the other live stream, that it absolutely is bots and AI. And the sad thing is I feel like I need to address this because there are the people that are shaming you, women, the people that are shaming you for homeschooling, cut them off. Cut them off. This is not the time. People don't have the mental capacity right now to deal with all the extra shaming, whether it's Campbell's soup, when somebody's going to neuter their dog, or whether they homeschool. Cut them off. I'm dead serious. Cut them off today. In today. Maybe talk to them and tell them Merry Christmas later. But until then, until we get through the next 2 to 3 months, I highly recommend that you cut people. I know how I am. Obviously, I'm a little bit triggered, but I think this is important. I want to talk about the important issues. So if you find yourself irritated or upset by somebody who's criticizing you, are they going to come pick up your kid and take them to the public school? No. Are they going to meet them at the bus stop when they have to ride the nasty bus home? No. Did they pay for your school supplies? No. Are they going to be coming to your house and helping your kid with chemistry when they don't understand it? No. They just want to criticize people. Cut them off. Pray for them. Don't be mean to them. I'm trying to save everybody's minds from the trash and from the dumpster that the world is in right now. I want you fed. I want you safe. I want your family safe. I want you to, in a crisis, to go, I'm glad I did all of these things. And I want your animals safe. Okay? Okay? Just for the record, for those people that are criticizing me because I said I was going to have these dogs neutered, hopefully, I was thinking at least a year. I'm going to try to push it to 15 to 18 months. I've already talked to my vet about that. He said, absolutely. He said, 2 years is ideal, but at the same time, we have to look at each individual farm, family, and situation to make the appropriate situation for all of that. Enoli is 3. She's not spayed yet. So see, you're criticizing me for something that you know nothing about. I already know all of this. That's why I waited on her. We're going to do all of this actually, she's going to go first. She's about to go. I want it done. I purposely waited on her for 2 reasons. I wanted her to hit 2 if possible. She did well waiting till that time. Cochise already neutered, so I didn't have any problems with them, right? So it's time. So I do know what I'm doing, but I'm having to make different decisions based on circumstances, right? That's what we should encourage people to do when it comes to preparedness, how they grow food if they can, how they prepare. They're taking care of their health and medical things in a quick fashion, and their animals. You do you, boo. But we're not going to be ugly here. We're going to protect each other. We're going to support each other. We're going to be kind. If we have a different idea, we're going to be kind in making suggestions. But for people to suggest that you should only eat what you grow, America will be starving in 3 days. You don't understand. You don't understand. These people do not understand. And if you take their advice without doing what you need to do, when something happens, they are not going to share their food with you. So when these smart alecks say, how dare you suggest? Oh my God. How dare you? How dare you? You remind them that when you don't have enough food, by George, they show up and they better be sharing. I bet you a $50 bill right now, they don't. And then there you stand with your baby hungry. So if ramen noodles is what it is today, go get the ramen noodles. Period. This is about getting through a crisis. Period. Any questions? Any questions? Let me see if I add more light. Will it help? A little bit. Any questions? I know it broke up. I apologize. It's doing that when I get heated on there. They know. Right? Whatever works for you. You know I'm saying ramen noodles because everybody's going to say they're bioengineered. That's not real food. There's bugs in it. I ate a bug in the barn. I did. Sure did yesterday. I was walking and I was like, and James was like, my gosh, what's wrong with you? I said, I'm just going to eat the bug. That's what they want us to do. I'll live. When I go out and I pick my wild raspberries and blackberries, the organic, natural tutti fruities, And I'm sitting there I'm eating it, honey. I'm like, come on, baby. I bet you there's 17 ants in every single one of them dang berries that I ate. I'm still here. So get over it. These are adults here. They're doing what they need to do for themselves. I'm doing what I need to do for my animals and myself the best that I can in the situation that we're in. Y'all, we are not in a good situation. Y'all know that. I know you know it, but I'm going to say, do y'all know that? Do y'all know it? Do y'all know it? So I'm going to tell you about dream that I had in my video that I'm going to try to get up before bed. It may load late. I apologize, but that's the way the world's working for here right now because we're filthy, dirty working. So anybody whining about my choices, do you... I don't take money or donations, but, since you want to, criticize and act how to do things here better than I do, I'll take your labor and I'll take a gift card. Put your money where your mouth is. These people don't help people. They just criticize. It's a fact. It's true. It's one thing to say, do the best you can, grow food. You've got to. Yes, that is fact. Nobody's arguing that. It is true that whole foods are better than ramen noodles. Who's argue that? A 5-year-old? Probably, because they don't know. Because they love ramen noodles. What we're trying to do is just get people through. When people have lost their jobs, as they have, they're lying to you about unemployment. Insane. It's insane. Do we need to go over that? Do I need to cover the numbers? Do we need to do math? I mean, I know you don't show up to help my kids with math, even though you criticize me for homeschooling them, but we can do math today. Right? Right? And I absolutely am for you doing everything that you can to raise organic, natural foods, store natural, organic foods. But the fact of the matter, folks, is, okay, so are we going to tell an 85-year-old mamaw that lives by herself in a little trailer who can barely keep the lights on right now, who is going to tell her to go buy whole white grain and to spend and to buy? She can't. She's 85 years old. My Nana is 88 years old and is doing it. That woman could not manually grind my corn. I know what she can do, and I know what she can't do, and I know how hard that is. So when I think of people in their 70s and 80s, in most cases, they probably can't do what you think everybody should be doing. So encourage them to do something. That's the goal. I have 4 grinders in my house. I'm going to tell you right, I have 4. I have a corn grinder, 2 wheat grinders, electric one, because I'm tutti frutti like that, because that's how I sit out. And then I realized, if we don't have electricity, how am I supposed to work with this? But I'm telling you right now, my Nana couldn't do that. So for somebody to suggest they just need to buy wheat berries and they need to hand grind it, you need to get real. Period. Now, if Mamaw's got 3 grandsons that she's going to be with, and they brawn on them, yes. But if Mamaw's by herself, I'm going to tell her to do the best she can to buy flour that's already been sealed for her, maybe from the Church of Latter-day Saints. That wrong, get over it, whatever. I'm going to tell her to put extra flour maybe she can get and put in her freezer and store it. I'm going to encourage her that way because that's what she can do. And that's what she can. Why these people think all these people had. Now, some of my grinders weren't that expensive. They were $50 to $70. Not too bad. I don't know where they are now. Okay? But these deluxe, really nice cranking type grinders, have you seen how much they are? So let's understand this. Mamaw, who lives in a trailer or in a little house somewhere, whatever, and she's living on Social Security and maybe a pension from where her husband passed away. And she's by herself most of the time, which means she's probably eating TV dinners because she doesn't cook much for herself. That may not be you, but this is the majority of elders in our country. Okay? So a lot of them don't even have their children come visit them anymore. And you're telling her to go buy a $600 wheat grinder today?
What? Are we for real?
What? You won't show up to help her grind, but you'll tell her she's an idiot for processed and bleached flour. I'm gonna tell you, better be careful with all that stuff. You're putting people in a poorer and starvation house. Shame anybody doing that. Shame on you. And I said it. If you unsubscribe, good. Very good. This is the goal. We're going to get rid of it. We have to encourage people to do the best they can in their circumstances, whatever that is. Whatever that is. So, a lot of people may not talk like this. They should, because this needs to be set straight.
Okay.
I have in and out, not right now, but I told you that I was in and out of a rehabilitation and rehab center and assisted living center for a while, obviously. And I'm looking at all of these elders. It's not a nursing home, not even a nursing home. All of these people that are staying at these expensive places, nobody comes to visit them.
Because they're older.
They've been injured. They've had a stroke. And I'm sitting here thinking, if these people don't have, and they're in a nice place taken care of, and they never have visitors, what do you think all these folks that are living by themselves in all these little houses and they're not getting visitors? So when a circumstance happens, where's their help? So make sure that when you have all this advice, you show up. Make sure you're showing up. Make sure you're sharing from your... Yeah, that steer that you just took to slaughter, when you get it back and you've got about 500 pounds of hamburger meat, I want you to out 10 pounds, 10 packets, and I want you to take it to your elderly neighbor. Do you think they should be eating farm-raised only? And they don't even have a car half the time to go get the food, but you expect them to go and do all these things. Well, why out of the goodness of your heart, go help them today? So let's all sure we're consistent.
And we're
stepping up. We're stepping up. Again, in closing, I am not encouraging people to be unhealthy. I am not encouraging people to sit in a recliner and eat ho-ho cakes all day. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people trying to do the best they can just to put have you seen the comments of people on my channel? These folks that write emails to me that say, Patera, I can't afford to eat half the time anymore. I, by default, have pushed myself down to only 1 to 2 meals a day. 1 to 2 meals a day, because I can't afford to do more. I'm trying to intermittent fasting by default because I can't afford to eat. This is in the United States of America. Yes. And we want to tell these people how stupid they are because they bought cans of Beanie Weenies? Are you kidding me? You can look at my videos when we get to these types of subjects anytime, and I guarantee you're going to see these people tell you that, and I don't think they're making it up. Why would they make that up? They're not asking for help. They're not asking for money. They're just expressing. It's not even these people. These are even couples. These are couples. I've got elderly couples that will say, my children don't help me. We're in our 80s. We're living on a super tight budget. We're not sure we're going to be able to buy propane for the winter. Have you seen Great Britain? 25% of the people in the UK are not going to have heat and hot water because they can't afford it. And you've got people walking around criticizing. What kind of demonic hell did you come from? I said it.
I understand.
That what I have and what I can do. And that in every day, I'm going to tell you this and I got to go. Every day, I'm going to be honest with you. I know God has our backs. I know God has a plan. I know who died for me. But as a human being and as a mother, I have to confess to you that there are some days, not every day, that I have these moments where I am just bracing. And I have to stop myself and I go, you are so blessed. You are so healthy. You have the ability to do the physical things that you can.
I'm going to tell you.
I went the other day and I took a snack, and I intermittent fast during the mornings to at least I try to go to 11 o'clock. I had to leave, so I took a snack and I was running errands, and James was working. I was running. I was half starved, I'm not gonna lie. And I called James. I said, I'm gonna stop at Jersey Mike's. I'm gonna misbehave today, and I'm gonna get me a small sandwich. Do you want one? And he said, no, I'll pass. I already ate your soup. Okay. I said, okay, well, I'll be on my way home soon, but I'm gonna do this. I just want to let you know where I'm at, and I want to see if you want one. But I'm hungry. I was hungry. So I went into the Jersey Mike's, and I was gonna get a little mini sandwich. And this young man working, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna go. I'd never seen him before, and he's disabled. This young guy, he's probably 25, and he was making my sandwich for me. And I don't know what he has, but I do think he may have something like spina bifida or something like that. And he was working his fingers off trying to make my sandwich, and he did a great job. And I stood there. I tried so hard not to cry. Well, my Jersey Mike's is awesome. It's probably where you are, not Jersey Mike's. My Jersey Mike people are awesome. And this little guy, he was so happy. He was making that sandwich, and he was working, and he was struggling a bit, but with his hands. And I just watched. I didn't want to sing. I didn't want to intervene. I thought, if he messes my sandwich up, Lord, it's okay, because I am blessed. And thank you for humbling me today. I'm busy and I'm stressing about stuff, but you know what? I'm dealing with that today. And I don't say that out of disrespect for this young man. I admire him because he went up and he got up and went to work. And he sat there and was making sing. I mean, he was doing good to walk around and do, and he did it.
Okay?
And I'm just saying, there is so much hurt and so much hunger right now, and children are hurting, and we need to do better. That's all I'm trying to say. And for you out there that injured emotionally or mentally by people in your life that are doing this to you, whether they're strangers or not, cut them off. Cut them off.
Cut them off.
I love you. I thank you for being here. I said I was going to try this in 12 minutes, but it turned into 44. Go figure. It's a live stream here. I apologize if it broke up in the middle. I have no control over that. And I didn't want to make a video about it because I knew I would get upset. I need to just say it. I knew I would get upset, and I'd have to start again. And because somebody's going to criticize me regardless. So I just said, suck it up, buttercup, and say what you need to say. So that's what I did. I love you guys, and I hope that you know from this channel, whether you hate my guts or not, hate my politics or not, hate the way that I, make biscuits or not, I want you to know from the bottom of my heart that I'm praying everyone out there. I hope that everybody's eyes are opened, and I hope that you know that I'm truly wanting you. James and I are truly wanting you. Yeah, this is inflation, all right? To do the very best that you can to get through whatever we're about to have happen to us, whenever that happens. We need to be protecting each other as citizens and not injuring each other as citizens. Our beef is not with each other. They're turning it into that on purpose. And I'm not going to let that happen here. I have control over that only here.
And it's not going to happen. So again, if you want to be on your
High horse, telling everybody how bad they are because they bought store-bought eggs and pasteurized milk and beanie weenies, you don't need to be here.
you should go create your own
YouTube channel and see how many people actually follow you. I think you're going to be surprised in knowing that you're going to have to change your tune really fast because the majority of this country is hurting. I buy store-bought eggs if I need to. I don't have those. I don't have these type of, maybe it was because of the way I was raised. I don't know. I just don't. I can tell you all day long that my egg better than the store. Duh. I mean, they are. But I'm not going to shame you for buying them. When they don't, when they go into mold or it's super cold and I'm getting 2 eggs a day, I buy eggs and from the store and I eat them.
Yeah. If I want to have a
Coca-Cola with my Jersey Mike's, I drink it. I make sure I try not to do it too much, but I do it. Right? Right? I'm going to be frying up Spam probably Monday because I need to process through my pantry a little bit. I'm going to eat it.
If you don't like it,
don't eat it.
If you want to be
the when my Great Pyrenees dogs tear each other's heads off and we have to have emergency surgery for them,
I'm going to send you my vet bill.
How does that sound? Does it sound good? Right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? Does everybody get it?
And I know how to preserve eggs. Somebody's trying to tell me how to preserve eggs. Thank you for the advice. Sweet. But go through my videos. I've taught you how to preserve eggs many ways. That's not what this is about. This is about people being able to do the best that they can and to not be embarrassed because of it. That's the bottom line. Yes, I've got multiple videos on freezing, water glassing. We're good. That's not what this topic is about. And for you to expect for people, and I'm not saying that you expect this, but anybody that's most people are doing all of these things, they're not. They're not. You see YouTubers doing things because that's their niche, or they need to make a video today, but everybody else that you know in your life is not doing it. Sorry, I hate to hurt your feelings. If everybody you know is doing all the preparations for the coming great fall, you are one in 100 million. I assure you that, and you're blessed. So don't take that for granted. But the rest of the people on the planet, they don't know how to do things. That's not a slam, it's the truth. And they're not with people that know how to do it. This is why, for the love of chocolate chip cookies, this is why this channel has been saying for 10 years, please do everything in your power to learn how to do things, because you will become I have a whole video on this from like 4 years ago. I talk about how if you learn skills, and I'm shaming you if you haven't, so just know what I'm talking about here. I said 4 years ago, I said, you are going to become an asset like gold or silver if you learn to do these things, because no one else is doing it. I got made fun of. I was told I was stupid. I was told I was doomsday. I was told I'm not a Christian. I'm told that I only run on fear. Are we running on fear right now? Are we running on fear right now? No, we're running on truth. Look around. Ask yourself sincerely, how many people around you have a wheat grinder and know how to grind wheat? I bet you know one. This crowd might know one. Everybody else on the planet, they don't know anybody. And let me tell you how I know this. I do have to go because I haven't eaten. Y'all wonder why I'm losing weight. Now you know.
I met a woman.
Tuesday. Never met her before in my life. And I was at a place where I was handling some preparations for somebody. Because see, you don't know this, and you shouldn't know it, and don't care to know it, but I'm helping other people prepare right now. Doesn't mean that I'm paying for their goods, but when individuals that I know, yeah, James is like, she's still talking. My husband is driving down to close my chickens and check on my ducks. That's what he's doing right now, because he is the most beautiful husband and male ever on the planet, and he's 110% full testosterone and love it. But this woman looked at me, and I was buying some preps for somebody else, not myself. And this woman was like, this is a true story. This is on Thursday. This is why one of the reasons to go buy a sandwich, because I was out running errands for myself, my farm, and somebody else. And because I want people to have food, people. And this woman was like, what are you going to do? How do you manage that? And I just at her because I'm like, oh, Lord, here we go. And I was like, had my little nerdy, these are my regular glasses, but I had my reading glasses on, and I was like, well, what do you mean? She said,
Well,
if there's a crisis,
how are you going to
take these foods or that and make them work? I mean, do you have water? And I looked at her and I said, what do you mean? I said, well, I have a hand pump well.
I don't run off city water.
And I have massive rain catchments. And I'm close to a massive body of water. So I know how to get my own water. And I know how to filter the water. And I know how to rehydrate foods. She said, well, what if there's no electricity? How are you going to do that? And I said, well, have you ever been camping? Well, yeah. And I said, well, do you have cast iron? And she said, no. I said, well, there's problem number one, because you're going to need cast iron. I said, but ma'am, I have a wood cook stove in my house. I saved every dime I could and everything that I could for a long time to save money. Instead of Disney World or to the beach, or instead of getting my nails, because she had gel nails on, instead of getting my nails done, no offense, I saved my money, had a wood cook stove installed years ago.
Good.
Are you kidding me? I said, no, I'm not kidding you. I said, ma'am, what you're starting to do today, which I commend you do, and I think that it's honorable and awesome what you're doing. You have to understand there are some people, not many, but there are some people that started preparing for what they fear is coming 10, 12, 15, 20 years ago. And do you know this woman looked at me? I don't even know her name, and she didn't know mine. She said to me, can I get your information and come to your house? And I just looked at her and I said,
Sure. I live
X. And I told her a county like 5 counties away. So, but her mind was blown. She's done nothing to prepare. Nothing.
I commend her for starting.
So don't think that please don't take me the wrong way. But that's where people are.
So yes.
If she went and bought beanie weenies today, I'm going to give her a high five, because she hasn't done anything, which is the majority of the people you know. So do what you need to do. Well, I love you. Right? People better wake up. People better wake. And I'm sorry to tell you, that comment right there is dead right. You're right. The sad thing is you have to understand, when a lot of these people up, whenever that is, they're going to wake up because they're already in a crisis. I don't want that for anybody. That's my goal. I don't want that for you. And I don't want that for children. I don't want to talk about my dream. My dream has to do with children, and it's totally freaked me out. If you're just now tuning in,
I don't know how I
dreamed this dream like I did. Lou was like, you're being sent a message. When my mother basically looks at me and says to me, you were just sent a message. I'm going to be triggered about people putting down other people doing the best that they can to prepare. Period. Okay. Well, I'm done now. LS, I would highly recommend what you're stating right there. I will say that. I will tell you, guys, I've started intermittent fasting because I do better when I do, but I will tell you, it has helped me figure out how to eat less. So you have to talk to your doctor or read or do your homework. I'm not saying that it works for everybody, but that's how I've lost all this weight. My uncle saw me the other day and he goes, my gosh, you've lost a lot of weight. He said, you look healthy. He's like, how did you do that? And I said, well, by default, I am doing some intermittent fasting. I'm drinking a lot of water and I'm preparing for 5Ks and I'm eating as best I can from my gardens, fresh. But I mean, if I want a chocolate chip cookie, I'm going to have one. I don't limit myself, but in terms of preparing your body for less so you can stretch more, you might want to consider. I made a video. Here I go again. Shut up, Patera. I made a video standing right over there in 2021, I think, and I told you that I felt that people need to start rationing foods. You have to start prior. Don't make yourself sick. Don't come off your meds. I'm not suggesting anything weird or crazy, but I have mentioned this about how you should, and I talked about all the advice that Nana talked about for me to prepare for that video. She talked about, and I tell you in the video, how they rationed during the Great Depression. My Nana was born in the middle of the Great Depression, and they were so crazy poor already that they were already having to do these things. Okay, here comes my husband. I told you, here he comes. And I tell you in that video, my Nana will tell you to this day that when she was a little, up until she was, even when she was in the 40s, like 11, 12 years old, that they literally got to make a cake, something, one time a week with 1 cup of sugar. They ran on 1 cup of sugar. I put 2 cups of sugar in most of these recipes I show you on YouTube. And I can make them anytime I want because that's the world we live in now. That's not the world she was in. That's not the world of a depression. That's not of the world of these people that are living rationed already. No, that's his truck. He drove around through the pasture to get to the chicken coop. But does it help you see me? I know it. So listen, don't worry about any of these trolls that are on here. I'll ban them. They're gone. So don't worry about it. And don't let them trigger you. Because they're going to, don't worry about these bots and trolls that you see. They're going to starve soon enough. There's some truth for you as well. Let's pray they don't. Let's pray they listen just for a second. When I better go buy some ramen noodles and some beanie weenies today. Don't worry about it. I don't worry about it. I love you guys. I got to go. I know this was a lot. It was a little bit of a downer. Maybe a little bit of an upper. I hope it gives some confidence to somebody to do something they need to do today. But at the end of the day, we're not going to have that here. My husband lived off mayonnaise sandwiches. So I haven't lived off mustard sandwiches, but my husband lived off mayonnaise sandwiches as a kid. If you want to talk to somebody about being poor, you should talk to my husband. That's why I married him, because he's so humble. I'm nothing compared to him. Okay, always know that I'm nothing without my husband. And I didn't have to eat mayonnaise sandwiches growing up, but my husband. And because I was fortunate enough to meet such an individual and fall in love with such an individual, who served this country, by the way, and served this country because he thought serving this country during the Gulf War was the right thing to do, and sacrificed everything. I don't think I'd be in the position I am today. So love on your spouses, love on your children, and do the best you can. And these people that are sizing, get rid of them. Love on them from a distance. Pray for them daily. Block, 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 block. Go on my phone. Block, block. Because you're in a spiritual warfare. All right, I love you. He's inside. He's good. All the work's done. He's like, oh, thank God. Thank goodness. Thank you, Lord. Right? Do the best you can. 2 videos coming up. I'm going to shower and go to bed. I'm going to eat my hamburger late. It's all right. It is what it is. Farmers eat late. I was not trying to be critical of anybody making suggestions here. I just want to talk this out for people because I see, and I'm not being ugly. I see things through comments that not everybody sees. And sometimes I get comments come through that are so overwhelming that I worry about y'all. It's a glimpse into what everybody's really going through. And I just think we're scratching the surface when we see that. I really, really do. I think we're just scratching the surface. All right, y'all pray for, is it Emil? Is it Emil? She's having surgery next week. So pray for her. Pray for her. Definitely pray for her. And pray for these folks that have all these small businesses that are losing their small businesses right now. Yes. Pray for them. Encourage them to do the best they can to be prepared, right? Everything counts. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Y'all have a good, give me a hug. I gotta have hugs. Hugs.
Hugs, hugs, hugs.
I understand the hormones, guys. And like I said, I've told you already that I'm going to do the best that I can to stretch my dogs out up to 18 to 24 months if I can.
If I can.
If you don't trust that I'm trying to do the best that I can for my animals on an individual basis, then you don't need to follow my channel anymore. I'm not going to be insulted by people. I love friendly suggestions. I love that. I welcome that. I get you. But when you're ugly to people, just to be ugly, I'm not accepting that. Because again, you're not here to feed my dogs. You're not here when I'm trying to pull them apart when they fight, or when they jump the fence and get pregnant, or when they jump the fence in Rome. See, where I live, if a Great Pyrenees is roaming because they're intact, they get shot here. See, that's another thing. Is some people that have these dogs, they live like in a neighborhood, and they that's like their status symbol dog because it's awesome. I just want you to know that when you come out to the country and dogs roam, they get ran over and they get shot. So I'm going to do what I feel best to protect them and to keep them safe. Okay? It's a mad, sad world. Well, you can tell them right now. I'm telling you right now, you get far enough out. My biggest concern for Cochise and any of my dogs is that they get it, right? And if I got to make a judgment call to close that gap, that's what I'm going to do. You do what works best for you. These dogs are predominantly outdoors, and they are predominantly guarding, and I have to guard them. All right, I'm gonna put extra onion on this hamburger. So you know what I'm gonna smell like tomorrow?
Maybe I need to put
Garlic on it to ward off all the vampires. Right? Put some garlic on that. Breathe on you. Woo! Get it? Just tomorrow, if you see me, go, man, I know that girl is stinking. Do you smell her through the? You can smell her. I thought I smelled onions and garlic. Y'all keep doing you. I love you more than you'll ever know. And we'll talk more about my dream. But I'm telling you right now, you better be putting away food. It's not for you, it's for your children. That's all I'm going to say. I love you. You don't believe it? That's okay. I still do. I'll see you tomorrow.